to you, good people, and welcome once more. If this is your first time, this is Wafu TV, where we simplify and facilitate the understanding of elementary mathematics, young learners, so that they can be encouraged to study mathematics, science, and technology. And today, we are looking at addition of fractions. And before we go into addition of fractions, what are our objectives? First, we should be able to add fractions with different and the same denominators. Secondly, we should be able to order fractions in ascending and descending order. And lastly, what we should grasp at the end of the day is to be able to change improper and mixed fraction. That is, changing improper to mixed fractions and mixed fractions to improper fraction. With this said, let's go straight to our first example here. 3/5 plus 1/5. The denominators are the same, and for this reason, as I said, you maintain the denominator. So if this is to be our line, our denominator will be 5. Nothing changes about it. And the numerators, what do? You simply add them across. 3 plus 1, which is 4. Now let's go to the second example. The denominators here are different. So what do we do in this respect? You can restate it as 2/3 plus 3/4. Here we find the LCM of the denominators, because they are different. The LCM of 3 and 4 is 12. 12 divided by 3 will give us 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. You write 8 directly under this fraction. You bring down your plus sign. 12 divided by 4 is going to give 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. 8 plus 9 is 17. This over 12. And if this is an improper fraction, we can change it to a mixed number. 17 divided by 12 will give one whole number, and the remainder is 5 over 12. So this is what you do if you have a question as such with different denominators. Let's look at another example. Of course, if you have 3 fractions to add, and if there are mixed numbers or mixed fractions included, what do? Example 3, the fractions are mixed fractions. And the second thing is that the denominators are all different. So this will be 5 and 3/8 plus 1 and 2/3 plus 2 and 5/6. First, before you go into finding the LCM, because the denominators are different, let us first of all add the whole numbers. 5 plus 1 plus 2 is going to give 8. You write your big 8 here. And now we find the LCM of 8, 3, and 6, which of course is 24. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. You write below this fraction, directly beneath, and you bring down your plus sign. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. You bring down this plus sign. 24 divided by 6 is going to give 4, and 4 times 5 is 20. You can add across, and before you add across, always remember to bring your whole number. 9 plus 16 is going to give 25, and 25 plus 20 is going to give 45. 45 all over 24. If you look at this carefully, you realize that this is an improper fraction, and an improper fraction, we can further change it to a mixed fraction. So if you want to change this alone, it will give 45 divided by 24, it will give us 1 whole, and our remainder here will be 21 all over 24. Now this will not be our final answer, because there is 8 here. So we have 8 as a whole number and 1 as a whole number. So we add the whole numbers, which will give 9, and we maintain our improper fraction, that is 21 all over 24. So this is what you do if you find a question as such. You solve until you have it to the lowest term possible. Okay, we have something new here: ordering fractions, placing fractions in order. It can be in ascending order or in descending order. This is our first example, and it's asking us to arrange in ascending order. In ascending order means we start with the least, the smallest, and the last one should be the highest. It means you are going up. And if you look at fractions, it becomes very difficult to determine which one is big, which one is small, and so on. There is something you have to do to be able to identify which is the smallest and which is the highest. And that is why we are here. Follow up. restate 2/5, 1/4, and 3 all over 10. The next step is to find the LCM of the denominators. And the LCM of these denominators is 20, of course. 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. This is where you focus your energy to be able to determine which fraction is big, which one is small. If you look at this number 8, 5, and 6, you can quickly identify the biggest number and the smallest number. So going by this, our answer will be, now you are not going to use any of these numbers to write down. Remember, you are ordering the fractions and not these whole numbers. So the whole numbers here only assist you to know which fraction is big and which one is small. We are arranging in ascending order, so we are starting with the smallest. Looking at these numbers, which number is smallest here is 5, and 5 is under 1/4. So 1/4 is the smallest fraction, followed by 6. 6 is under 3 all over 10, and so 3 all over 10 is next to 1/4. And the highest number here is 8, which represents 2/5. So our last is 2/5. With this, you are sure that it has been ordered in ascending order. This is the second example. This time around is in descending order. And descending order means we start with the highest and go down. So we start with the highest fraction. And to know the highest fraction, we're going to do a similar exercise. 2 all over 9, 1 all over 3, and 5 all over 18. LCM of 9, 3, and 18 is 18. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. And 18 divided by 18 is times 5 is 5. This is where we focus to find which fraction is small and which is big. Remember, we are doing it in descending order, so we start with the highest. And the highest number here is 6. 6 represents 1/3. So our highest fraction is 1/3, followed by 5. 5 is 5 all over 18. And the last, which is the smallest number here, is 4. And 4 represents 9. Whenever you have a question as such, you should be able to identify in which order they're asking you to place the fractions, either ascending or descending order, because you can do this very well, but the fact that you have placed the inverse of what they're asking you, probably ascending when they have asked you to descend, or descend when they have asked you to ascend, you will have it all wrong. Let's move to another small thing which is very interesting. At this point in time, we want to change a mixed number or a mixed fraction to an improper fraction. Before I do this, I just want to remind us that fraction is a little bit broad, and fraction requires previous understanding to follow up with the lesson. We started last time with different aspects of fractions, and today we are doing addition of fraction. I will call on you to follow up this very closely, because we are getting to a situation where we will have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division all put together. And if you did not understand one of these aspects very well, it is going to lead to failure, because if you don't solve the previous stage correctly, the next stage will obviously be wrong. The reason why I'm calling your attention to this is because questions in fraction are very simple if you follow up the logic. The logic is, if your question is a mixed fraction, let your final answer equally be a mixed fraction, except otherwise your answer cannot be changed to a mixed fraction. If you want to change a mixed number or a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, the first thing is take the denominator, multiply by the whole number, add the numerator and the answer by the denominator. Therefore, we are going to first of all take 5, we multiply by 4, which is the whole number, then we add 3, which is the numerator, and all this we will express all over 5. 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 plus 3 is 23 all over 5. Do not divide, because if you were to divide this by this, you come back to 4 and 3 all over 5. So you simply just express the answer you've had all over 5. Let us do the next, which is, of course, changing back from improper to a mixed fraction. In this case, what you do is you divide 17 by 3. Let us use the long division method so that you can best understand. This is the dividend and 3 is the divisor. 17 divided by 3 is going to go 5 times. 5 times 3 will give 15. And if you find the difference, 17 and 15, your difference is 2. This is where we focus our energy, the remainder, the divisor, and the product here. So 5 becomes our whole number. The remainder is the numerator. Remainder is 2, which is the numerator. And we maintain our divisor, which is 3. With this, I strongly believe that you've learned something. And if you did, consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for our next lesson, which will be subtraction of fractions. See you in our next lesson. Ciao.